Hey everybody, this is Pelvis. We're going to recap what happened in rock and roll history starting back on January 10th, 1963. So sit down, buckle up. We got a week's worth of work to get through. Let's do it. January 10th, 1963. Charlie Watts joins the Rolling Stones. He quit his other band, Blues Incorporated, and his job as a graphic designer. Best move that man ever made, God love him. 1965, January 10th, the Beatles started a 9-week run at #1 on the US album chart. 1970, during their UK tour, Led Zeppelin made an appearance at the Royal Albert Hall, and that night happened to be Jimmy Page's 26th birthday. January 10th, 1973, old Mick was refused entry into Japan because of a 1969 drug bust. Go on, Mick. 1976, January 10th, Queen was at #1 on the UK single charts with Bohemian Rhapsody. January 10th, 1997, a day after his birthday, David Bowie performed his 50th birthday batch at Madison Square Garden in New York City. January 10th, 2005, a grand piano once owned by Elvis Presley sold for $685,000. On January 10th, 2008, Spice Girl Victoria Beckham was named the worst dressed celebrity in an annual list of fashion disasters. What can you say? What can you say? January 11th, 1958, the release of Elvis Presley's Jailhouse Rock was pushed back a week because the pressing company in the UK couldn't fulfill the 250,000 pre-ordered records. January 11th, 1962, Cliff Richard had a #1 hit in the UK with his hit single, The Young Ones. It stayed at the top of the charts for 6 weeks. January 11th, 1963, the Beatles recorded their first national TV show, Thank Your Lucky Stars. January 11th, 1964, Oh Louie Louie by the Kingdom was #1 on the US Cashbox Music Chart. How about it? Go on, Louie Louie. January 11th, 1967, the Jimi Hendrix Experience recorded Purple Haze. I spent a couple of days in that purple haze myself. Anyhow, that was January 11th, 1967. January 11th, 1975, Led Zeppelin played their first concert in 18 months in Rotterdam, Holland. January 11th, 1986, the Pet Shop Boys scored their first #1 UK hit with West End Girls. January 11th, 1992, Nirvana appeared on Saturday Night Live. January 12th, 1964, the Beatles appear on the ATV show Saturday night at the London Palladium. January 12th, 1969, Led Zeppelin releases their debut album, recorded at Olympic Studios in Barnes, London. January 12th, 1974, the Steve Miller Band were at #1 on the US single chart with The Joker. January 12th, 1977, old Keith was busted and fined 750 pounds after a car accident when they found cocaine in his car. All right, Keith. January 12th, 1977, the Police had their first rehearsal, held at the drummer Stuart Copeland's London flat. January 12th, 1993, Van Morrison failed to turn up for his induction to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, making him the first living inductee not to be there, brother. What happened, man? January 12th, 1995, Snoop Doggy Dogg was busted in Los Angeles with marijuana and drug paraphernalia. Duh. January 12th, 2003, singer-songwriter Maurice Gibb from the Bee Gees died at age 53 in Miami, Florida. January 13th, 1962, Chubby Checker went to #1 on U.S. single chart with The Twist. The song first went to #1 in September 1960 and became the only record in American chart history to top the charts on 2 separate occasions. Go on, Chubby Man. January 13th, 1965, the first day of recording for Bob Dylan's Bring It Back Home album. January 13th, 1967, Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr went to the Bag O' Nails Club in London to see the Jimi Hendrix Experience. January 13th, 1969, Elvis Presley began a 10-day recording session that would produce his final U.S. #1 hit, Suspicious Mind. January 13th, 1984, BBC Radio 1 announced a ban on Relax by Frankie Goes to Hollywood. DJ Mike Reed called it obscene. This song went on to become UK #1 and spent a total of 48 weeks on the charts. Take that, Mr. Reed. January 13th, 1990, New Kids on the Block had their second #1 UK hit with Hangin' Tough. January 13th, 2005, a report showed that more songs have been written about Elvis Presley than any other entertainment. The list contained over 220 songs. January 15th, 1964, the Beatles performed live in France for the first time in front of a crowd of 2,000 people. Whoo, big time. January 15th, 1965, the Who released their first single, I Can't Explain, and that was with Jimmy Page on guitar. January 15th, 1967, the Rolling Stones on the Ed Sullivan Show were forced to change the lyrics to their song to Let's Spend the Night Together to Let's Spend Some Time Together. They're still getting the job done, though. January 15th, 1969, George Harrison has a 5-hour meeting with Paul, John, and Ringo about breaking up with the Beatles. January 15th, 1971, David Bowie releases the song Holy Holy. It failed to chart. January 15th, 1972, Don McClain's American Pie started a 4-week run at #1 on the U.S. singles chart. January 15th, 1972, Led Zeppelin's Black Dog made its debut in the U.S. January 15th, 1976, Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here was on the UK album charts. January 15th, 1977, the Eagles were at #1 with Hotel California on the US album charts. January 15th, 1983, Men at Work were on the US charts with Down Under. January 15th, 1983, Phil Collins has his first UK #1 single with You Can't Hurry Love. January 15th, 1994, singer-songwriter Harry Nillson dies. I knew Harry. I spent a time in Malibu with Harry. I'll never forget him till the day I die. If you don't know who Harry Nillson is, Google him. I mean, the man was brilliant, and he was a maniac. God love you. He was a maniac. January 16th, 1957, the Cavern Club opens up in Liverpool. January 16th, 1964, the Beatles played 2 shows at the Olympia Theatre in Paris, France, the first of an 18-month engagement. January 16th, 1973, Bruce Springsteen appears at Villanova University in Philadelphia in front of a crowd of 25 people. January 16th, 1980, Paul McCartney was jailed in Tokyo, Japan for marijuana possession. Token up in old Tokyo. January 16th, 1988, George Harrison went to #1 on the U.S. singles chart with Got My Mind Set on You. January 16th, 1988, George Michael went to #1 on the album chart in the United States with his debut album, Faith. January 16th, 1989, Michael Jackson played the first of 5 nights at the Memorial Sports Arena in Los Angeles, California. January 16th, 1990, Ike Turner was convicted of driving under the influence of cocaine and was sentenced to 4 years. January 16th, 2004, Michael Jackson pleaded not guilty to 7 counts of child molestation. January 16, 2009, Boy George was sentenced to 15 months in jail for falsely imprisoning a male escort. Sort of like putting the fox in the hen house, wouldn't you say? Anyhow, none of my business. January 16, 2021, American producer Phil Spector dies in prison at age 81. Well, that was this week in rock and roll history. Now listen, if you want to make history with this old man right here, you got some music, I want to promote it. Send it to me. I'll do a mamma jamma like this around your music. We'll put it on my channel. We'll put it out there. Right now we're getting upwards of 2,000 views per show. I know what you're saying. It doesn't matter. It's 2,000 people don't know you. All right, send me your stuff at screwthenews2020@gmail.com. Like I said, I'll roll it up in a show like this, put it out there. What you got to lose, you know? Right now, you take that thousands of dollars worth of equipment you got, put it in a $2,000 hoopty, drive 50 miles for a $50 gig. I would too, but if you don't have to do it, don't do it. Send it to me. I'd love to do it for you, and it costs you zero, zip, nada, all right? This is Pelvis saying adios. Take care of one another. See you next week.